Hello everyone and welcome to our fourth episode of What Can You Get for Dinner at the Dollar Tree for just $5. And this week is going to be a really good one because like I said last week, this is going to be completely vegetarian and you can make it vegan if you want to. So that's really cool that you can do that for $5 or less. And I also have some really good news and I also have some bad news, but I'll tell you the good news first. I have finally qualified to be an Amazon affiliate, which means that if I recommend a cookbook or a cooking gadget that I really like, you can use the link that I will put in the description box below each video. And if you use that link and purchase the cookbook, then I will get a small commission off of that. Now, it does not raise the price of the product in any way. I just get a small piece of the overall sale. Now, I've already created a little storefront that I have all of my favorite cookbooks on there, and I will be adding more as we go along. However, as this is mostly a vintage cookbook channel, you will not be able to find all of the cookbooks that I review on this channel because I usually tend to get them from places like eBay or yard sales, library book sales, anything that has, a large assortment of vintage cookbooks. But if it's a little bit newer, I will be sure to link that below so you can see it. And if you want to purchase it, you can go ahead and do so. And now for the bad news. It's not bad news for the channel, but it's just bad news if you live in the East Tennessee or surrounding area. As you will notice, I'm wearing a new t-shirt, Newport Dry Goods from Newport, Tennessee, and it's a little store that I actually featured in the Christmas treat bag episode I did not too long ago. And yesterday I found out that the person who started the store in 1959 is closing the store because he's finally going to retire. Now, I don't know what that means for the store itself, but they are currently selling everything out of it. So if you live in this area, you may want to run over there and walk through it one last time because it really was a gem. I had been shopping there for 27 years, getting my clothes from there, and just wanting to go in there just because when you stepped in, you quickly realized that nothing in the store had changed since the 1970s. Obviously except for the stock that they were selling, but the signs and the clothing racks and the decorations, everything, I think even the cash registers, they looked really old, but nothing had really changed since the 70s, and that is what I loved about it. It was like stepping back in time. So to lose this store, was such a pain in my soul that we were losing such an institution to our area. Hopefully, someone maybe might buy the store and keep it up in spirit, but I do know it won't be the same. We have been facing a ton of changes in the last several years, and that was a really painful one to see go. But I managed to go in there and shop one last time. I picked up a few items, this t-shirt obviously so that I could have some memories, and I did take some pictures one last time of the interior of the store just so I would always be able to look back on it and remember it. I so love that store. But anyway, so that's my good news and that's my bad news. Like I said, if you live in this area, you might want to run down there and just, soak it up one last time before it's gone forever. But now that we have gotten our news out of the way, let's go ahead. I'm going to show you some footage of what I found in Morristown, Tennessee's Dollar Trees, which I will tell you, Morristown, I was disappointed because one of your Dollar Trees was fairly good. I'll go ahead and, say it was up there with a good one. But the second one, you didn't even have a freezer section. There was hardly any food, really hardly anything. So, so disappointing. But it's okay because we managed to pull still a really good dinner out of it. And at the end of this video, we will be ranking all of the Dollar Trees we've gone to from, sort of okay to our absolute favorite one in this area. So stay tuned for that. Let's go ahead, watch that footage, and then we're gonna get cooking. Now we have the big reveal. We are going to make some really good vegetarian quesadillas with some rice as a side dish. And now I know you probably noticed there's actually 6 items right here, which means that I paid a whopping $6 to make this meal. But I was out of cheese, so I went ahead and got it from there for just $1. Of course, if you've already got cheese at home, you can omit this and keep it within the $5. Or if you're vegan and you would just leave the cheese off anyway, then you're still going to be within the $5. We're going to do a little something different with the rice. I've got some oil heated up in the pan. We're going to go ahead and add our rice. And then quickly stir around because we're going to fry this until they're nice and golden and puffed. And you can see they have become a little bit more opaque. And now you'll push that to the side. And right here, we're going to add in our onion and our garlic. And you can see I added a little bit extra garlic in there. You don't have to put that much if you don't want to. That's just my personal preference. And now we're going to saute this on this side of the pan until soft. And now once your onion and garlic are soft, let's go ahead and add our can of Rotel. You put that right in with the onion and garlic. And now you're going to take all that rice and you're going to mix it right in with all the other ingredients. And now we're going to go ahead and add our vegetable broth. Now you can use chicken if you want to, but I'm going to keep it vegetarian, so I'm sticking with the vegetable broth. Or you could do water and a bouillon cube. Now we're going to let this come to a boil, then we'll lower the heat and allow it to simmer until the rice has absorbed all the liquid. And if you can hear that in the background, that's actually my cat. He likes to go outside on his catio and just yell at the other cats for some reason. And don't worry about salting this or flavoring it because we will do that once all of this is cooked through. And while our rice is cooking, let's go ahead and get our vegetables ready. I decided to cook these on the stovetop. So we'll put this in a pan with a little bit of water and we're going to go ahead and let that cook. And then we will season them with some onion powder, garlic powder, salt and pepper, and then I'm going to add a little bit of cumin. You don't have to put cumin if you don't want to, but I just really like the taste of it, and so I wanted to put that in there. Things are starting to cook. You can see a little bit of bubbles. This is almost at a boil. This is starting to heat up and evaporate some of that liquid and cook through. And as for the beans, I'm just going to just warm them. I've got it on really low. I'm just going to heat them through in a pot. And I wanted to make sure and mention, I did check this label. So it's water, pinto beans, canola oil, and onion and salt. So there's no lard in these beans, which means that they are still vegetarian. Our vegetables are ready, so let's go ahead and season. I'm not measuring any of this. I'm just kind of doing it according to personal preference. So however much you want to put or whatever you want to put, go ahead and go as wild with it as you want. I've also added the salt and pepper, so go ahead and give this a good stir, and we will pull this off the heat and put this in a separate container because we're going to use this pan to actually make the quesadillas. And let's take a little peek at our... Ooh! This is looking really good. We still have some liquid to absorb, so we'll put the lid back on and let it continue to do its thing. Now I've washed out this pan. I've got some oil heating up in it, and I've also got my ingredients close at hand, so I will be able to make these very quickly. Okay, this is so much food. I am really happy with how it turned out, but let's hope it tastes as good as it looks. Because this was kind of a, hey, let's just make something up.
Yeah. It's hard to go wrong with a quesadilla.
That's true.
Vegetarian quesadilla.
Oh, man.
I think, I mean, it's a good balance of stuff. But, like, you don't really miss any of the meat.
No, you absolutely don't.
Like, the refried beans kind of make up for that more than enough, I think.
Right. And I'm so glad I switched from the regular beans to the refried beans, because that added a really nice, good punch of flavor and also some good texture to it. And the tortillas.
Tortillas are excellent.
Oh my gosh, the tortillas are so good. This is an excellent brand. Now, this is Del Barrio, and it's made in Mexico. And it was just $1 for 12. My gosh, I swear, they taste better to me.
Yeah.
Than like the, old El Paso ones or some of the other ones you get from the other grocery stores.
I actually like the texture too, because it's got a, like, fried the way it is, it's got a really crispy, flaky kind of like layer on it that like kind of holds in some of that moisture a little bit better than like your typical flour tortillas, Yeah. And I don't know.
And still stayed soft though.
Yeah. They're not like falling apart as we bite into it. You see, it's not coming in crunches and like falling to pieces.
If I need tortillas for something else, I'm sticking with this brand.
Yeah.
Man, is that good. Okay, let's try the rice. This was another little concoction. We'll see how it goes.
Wow.
Yeah.
Rotel adds actually a little bit more like kick than I expected.
Yeah, it's got a little heat in there.
Right at the very end.
Yeah.
It's not like so pronounced or like hard to eat in any way. It actually is really good. And it kind of opens, I think that helps open up your taste buds for some of the other flavors in there.
Yeah. Okay, it's hard to stop eating, but we got to stop and like and actually say what we want to say. Last week's dinner was really good.
Yeah.
I think this one's just as good. Still incredibly filling. This is a lot of food.
And we've got more. We've got more. Like, how many tortillas do we have left?
That's what I'm excited about.
Like, we can probably make a few more dinners with this.
Yes, and this only cost $6 because remember I added the cheese because I ran out, So $6 and we've got dinner for what? The next 2 or 3 days or lunch, however we want to do it.
Yeah.
And it's a good dinner. It's a good lunch.
I would actually almost say this is... I actually like this better than last week.
Oh.
And I will say this specifically because of the tortillas.
Yeah.
And this is something that, like, I didn't know was out there. We had access to.
That's true.
We will use these going forward.
Yeah.
And it's like a special find. Something that we'll look forward to using again.
Yes. If you have access to a Dollar Tree and you can find the El Barrio tortilla or Del Barrio tortillas, grab them. They are so good. Yeah, I think that's what really elevates this.
Yeah, it kind of takes it up a notch. Like, even if we make a different tortilla or burritos or
we'll be grabbing these for all of
tortillas for it.
Heck yeah. So that's the end of this series. Or is it?
Uh-oh.
Yeah, because we have enjoyed this so much. We're actually going to make this a more or less permanent staple and rotation into our videos. So what I would like to do is every fourth Friday have, a bargain dinner or, a budget dinner meal. Now, that could be from the Dollar Tree again, or it could be from some of the vintage cookbooks that I own that state feed your, family for this amount, right? But let's take that to the grocery stores of today and see, can you still make that budget dinner from 40 years ago still a budget, right?
Yeah.
So that's going to be kind of fun to look at. And that does mean that we will be going back to the Dollar Tree to find some hidden gems like these tortillas and the cheddar cheese biscuits that we really like so much. And now I thought we might rank the Dollar Trees we went to. We'll just do this really quickly because you guys have seen the footage if you've watched them, so you kind of know probably already. But unfortunately, Morristown, Hamblin County, you're at the bottom of the list.
Dang.
Yeah, I mean, you need to step up your Dollar Tree game, or Dollar Tree needs to step up their game for you guys. And bring in some more products and renovate some of your stores. One of the stores, like I mentioned, didn't even have a freezer section. Like, what's up with that? Like, that store's missing out on a lot of extra income because this is food people want.
Yeah.
And it's good, so we need to have it. Unfortunately, Morristown, you're number 4 on this list of 4. Now, we did sneak in Newport, Tennessee, Cott County in there. They were in the process of changing their store around a little bit. They've always had food in the freezer section, but they're getting more stuff.
Oh.
So that one, we'll put that one at 3.5 since we got to squeeze it in between since we technically did 5 out of 4. But we're going to put in third place. We're going to go ahead and put Greenville, which is the county, Greene county we live in. And we have 2 of them, and they're good, but sometimes they're not always stocked very well.
Right.
It's hit and miss. If you get in between the trucks, you're probably not going to find too much. But there's one in particular that edges out a little bit more than the other one, and that's the one on the bypass. If you do live in Greene County, you'll know which Dollar Tree that one is, and that one does tend to be a little bit better with the food. In second place, this is going to be hard. I kind of want to do a tie, but I'm going to go ahead and put in second place, I'm going to say Johnson City. Yeah, because there were 2 Dollar Trees there as well. One of them was awful. There was nothing in that Dollar Tree. I mean, you had the shelving, but there was nothing on it. So I don't know what happened with that one. But
Maybe
then
you
we
caught it in between shipping.
it must have been in between trucks. But we went to the other Dollar Tree that's actually like basically smack in the middle of Johnson City. And that one was really good.
Okay.
It had some really fun items in there. I came out of there with some art supplies. It was just great. But I'm gonna have to say the number one winner, I think, is gonna be Jonesboro.
Wow.
Yeah, Jonesboro, Tennessee. You've got a big Dollar Tree.
Smaller.
For like the
it's
small
smaller
town.
than Johnson City.
Yeah, and you've got a big, brand new, beautiful Dollar Tree, and it is consistently stocked when I go in there. That's why it edged up out of Johnson City, because I've never gone in there when that one's empty. And it's always had some really cool stuff in there, and I kind of went a little wild, and I kind of bought some other things besides the food, but I'm gonna have to give it to that. So congratulations, Jonesboro. You guys have a really great Dollar Tree, so count yourselves lucky. And stay tuned for next month, because it's gonna be February, and I don't know what we're doing yet. I'm torn. There's so many cookbooks I have that I've bought from eBay that I need to go through. So thank you for watching this, and stay tuned for next time for a surprise video. We'll see you then. Bye.
And if you like historical cooking and unusual cookbooks, here's 2 more videos you might enjoy. And make sure to like and subscribe for more foodie adventures.